Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here today. This is day one of the 5-day Facebook challenge to being happily booked in your spa business. My name is Tazeen Jamal. I am a licensed esthetician, have been in the industry for almost 30 years. I'm still super passionate about what I'm doing, working just very part-time now with my clients, but now doing what I can to support other people using the success that I've had in the industry to help you build your business so that you can be successful. So this is a free challenge that I have invited anybody in the spa industry, wellness industry, nail technician, hairdresser, it doesn't matter what part of the wellness spa beauty industry you're in, you can take this challenge, and I invite you to invite other people that you know that might want to grow their business. This is free. So this is me sharing my passion for the industry to help people raise the bar so that our industry can have more respect from the consumer, as well as for us to be able to support ourselves in doing this for a living. Now, my business is in Port Moody. I've had my business, like I said, for almost 28 years, 29 years, but I've been in the industry for almost 30, and I'm super, super passionate about what I do. But I believe that a lot of us get into this business because we do love it. We love it, and it's our heart work. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that this is a real business, and we have to treat it like that. So as much as it's so easy to pamper somebody, as the consumer would look at us and say, oh, but you just pamper somebody, or you're just an esthetician, or you're just a makeup artist. But you know, this is how we earn our living. And so, yes, we get into it for the reasons because we love it and we're passionate about it. We want to make a difference and help people. But at the end of the day, it is a business. And so I really encourage you to take advantage of these 5 days and get the most out of it. We do have a private Facebook group. If you're on this message today, like if you're actually listening to me right now, whether it's live or recorded, then I invite you to join our Facebook group. We do have a private group. It's a safe space for you to come to feel supported, to learn from each other, and find ways to grow. So, like I said, we love what we do, but at the end of the day, we have to remember this is how we earn our living. It's how we feed our families, and ultimately, it's how we make a difference in society by being able to donate, to be able to give back, and to support. But if we cannot do that for ourselves and we don't prosper, then how is it that we can give back to our communities? So I created this challenge, and I called it Happily Booked. But why Happily Booked? Well, I think for every single one of us, we're in different places in our lives, in our careers. As I said earlier, I've been in this industry for almost 30 years. For me, Happily Booked now is just working 2 days a week in my studio because I love it, not because I have to work 5 or 6 days a week anymore. But what about you? Where are you sitting right now in your life, in your career? What does Happily Booked mean to you? And that's what I really want you to think about today is, maybe you are just starting a career, and for you, it's really important to work absolutely full-time hours. You want to be in a space where you are being inspired, where you're learning, where you're growing. And so for you, Happily Booked is working full-time hours, maybe really long hours, maybe evenings and weekends. Maybe you're coming back from mat leave and you are maybe starting over again, or maybe you're coming back from mat leave and you don't want to even work full-time right now. You're just wanting to rebuild, get back into the game, and connect with your clients again. And maybe because you're now starting a family that you don't want to work full-time. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're at the tail end of your career and you still want to work because you're passionate about it, but you just don't have to be doing this every single day. So examine where you are at and decide what that is for you. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today is when we're not happily booked, what does that do? What does that mean to you? And how does that impact your life? Obviously, the obvious one is, the lack of cash flow. If you have to work because it's your livelihood, as we talked about, but you need to work 5, 6 days a week and you're not busy because you're working on commission or you're working for yourself and you're self-employed, your overheads don't change, but your client flow of business will change day to day. So obviously that creates stress, and when we are in a place of lack or lacking a cash flow, because we're stressing about paying our overheads at the end of the month, that creates all kinds of crazy, as I'm sure many of you can relate. I've been there. I know what that feels like. Yes, I'm at the other end of my career, but I've been there. I started all by myself and built a business from ground up. So I know what it's like. I've been at every stage that any one of you probably that's on this call that is at in your life and in your career. So I can really, 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 truly relate. And I think that's what makes this so powerful for me to be able to share, is that I have been where you guys are. So obviously the second thing that it leads to stress, and what does stress do? It leads to a lack of confidence. It leads to overwhelm. Think back 3, 6, 12 months ago, were you sitting here in the same place feeling like you're struggling because you're not happily booked, whether that's 2 days a week, 5 days a week, or, 2 days out of the month that you're working? Have this conversation with yourself. Are you still sitting where you were 6 months ago? Do you want to be sitting somewhere different 6 months from now? Well, then you're in the right place, because that's what this challenge and further conversations that I will look forward to having with each one of you who choose to participate and continue to work with me here, you're in the right place. So stop thinking about it. How can we change that story and make it so that you have a new story 6 months from now? What if I could support you through that process? I could support you through those feelings of stress and anxiety, and help you get to where you want to be, being happily booked. So what is the 5-day challenge really all about? So this is 5 straight days, and it's not a long time. Yes, it's 5 straight days, and it's a commitment, but I encourage you to make the commitment to yourself, for yourself, so that you can be inspired, that you can grow, you can push yourself, and knowing that whoever's on this challenge with you, whether there's 10 of us, 20 of us, or 150 of us or more, we're all doing this at the same time. And don't compare yourself to where somebody else might be. Somebody else might be at 1 year. Maybe they're just starting. Maybe they're 10 years in. Maybe they're like me at 30 years. But it doesn't matter. The point of this is for us to create a place to support every one of us, no matter where we're at. So we're going to cover, client captivation. We're going to cover marketing. We're going to find ways to be inspirational. And we're going to talk about your stories. And your stories include, your visual story, your why did you begin in this industry? And, what it is that you want in terms of creating your story for your business. So what I want you to do today is the first thing I want you to do for, obviously this is a challenge, which means I'm helping to push you out of your comfort zone and inspiring you and encouraging you to really take the challenge seriously. It's not going to take a lot of your time. It really isn't. But I really believe at the end of the 5 days, if you do the challenge as you're supposed to, you will feel supported and you will grow for sure. So what I want you to do is get a journal. Find a really cute little journal that you can, I have one of my favorites is this one, Think Amazing, Be Amazing. I love this. I have so many journals. Go and find yourself a journal. Invest in something for yourself that you can be inspired to pick up every day and want to write in. So get a journal, or maybe you've already got one, maybe you've started writing in one section of it. Take another section, maybe at the back of that same journal, and use that as your 5-day challenge journal. So what I want you to do is to write down a list of the top 3, 4, or maybe even 5 areas in your career that you've had great business success with. Now that's really important. And you might kind of think, well, why are you asking me to do that? Well, I think it's because we need to look at ourselves and realize that we have success. And yes, we ask others to support us because that's what this group is all about. But at the end of the day, we need to believe in who we are and what we do to really make this work. Because it doesn't matter how anybody else is going to inspire you and push you. If you don't believe in your heart that you are worthy and you are capable and that you're amazing, you know what? You can't convince anybody else of that either. And I believe that really transposes into your business and in the way that you communicate with your clients as well. And I believe that's a huge part. Your mindset is a huge part of your success. So that's why I want you to do these three to 5 things. Write them down. What are the top 3 or 5 things that you have succeeded at? Whether it's, extra education, whether it's an award, whether it's a community event. You decide what that is for you and write those things down. The second thing I want you to do is, what is your area of expertise in your business right now? Doesn't matter, again, where you're at in your stage of your career, whether that's you're brand new or otherwise. What are your areas of expertise? And I would hone in on one, maybe two, not more than that. So write those down. What are you really passionate about? You know, sometimes we're working in a salon or a spa or working for ourselves and we do a ton of waxing our eyebrows, but it's really not our passion. So yes, you might be really good at it, but what are you really truly passionate about? And that's why I'm saying maybe take two. Maybe there is the waxing, that's the sustainability factor right now, because that's where you're getting all your clients from. And that's where you are busy. But it may not be your real, true passion. Where do you want to really ultimately work and build your career based on that? What do you want to be known for? So do those two things. And then lastly, join our group, join our Facebook group. And I really want you guys to know that it's a place that's safe, that you guys can get supported. And I want us to support each other. And I invite you to post your Facebook pages for your businesses on the Facebook group. And it's a completely closed group, so nobody else can look at those postings or information or anything you might be sharing, even if you're feeling vulnerable, other than if they're actually part of the challenge. So post your Facebook pages there, and let's like each other, let's support each other, maybe comment on something, and be inspired by other people. I mean, that's really what it's about. The internet has given us access to so much, but how are we really using all of that information, right? And then I encourage you to, again, step out of your comfort zone and post on that group. Maybe I will create a thread and I'll say day one challenge, you know, what are your 3 areas of success and what are your 2 areas of expertise? I'll create a thread. And if you can keep things in that thread, that would be fantastic. This way everything stays together. But I encourage you to do that so we can be inspired by other people. Somebody might say, you know, I'm so excited. I just took the lash lifting training, or I did the dermaplaning training, or, you know, I just went to the spa show in Atlanta, the Face and Body show that was just happening this past weekend. Actually, I think it's still on today. So, you know, be inspired. You know, take this challenge seriously, because it really is a way. It's free. It's a way for you to, I invite you to really put your skin in the game. Sometimes when things are free, we'll start day 1, we'll start day 2, and then we fall off the wagon. I want to know that anybody that starts on day 1 is going to be here day 5, because this is about celebrating, this is about growing, and this is about getting better and better every single day. So thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Tazim Jamal. If you do need to get a hold of me, feel free to friend me on Facebook. And if you've got any private questions, you can certainly do that. As a spa business coach, I do work with clients one-on-one. And this is part of what I'm doing here, is creating a community. I do have a separate group that I've created as well on Facebook. So if you want more information or want to participate in any of that, feel free to message me privately. And I'm also working on some group coaching programs that I am probably going to deliver sometime in the new year. So stay tuned for all of that. And thank you again for making the commitment to be here. And I'm honored that you would take the time to be here with me today. Signing off, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.